Hi, I'm James the Light Guy, and today we're going to take a look at these DeePee LED replacement headlight bulbs. These are in the bulb type H4, which is also compatible with HB2 or 9003. Opening the box, we get the same product manual that we've seen in a number of recent LED bulbs. Has our basic specifications on the chipsets and some installation instructions. And these come in a very numerous amount of languages here in the book. We'll put that aside. We also get our two headlight bulbs. Taking a look at the bulbs from the wire end, as we always do. We have a standard 9003 or H4 plug with some limited strain relief, going to a rubber sheathed wire set here, which leads into the metal encased brain box. This appears to have a pretty decent seal on it to prevent any corrosion or moisture ingress. The wire then continues up to the headlight bulb assembly itself. At the back here, we can see a fairly decent sized cooling fan protected by this shroud and a very small heatsink. Let's zoom in a little bit. We have a large surface area on this extruded aluminum heatsink, but it is very low profile to fit inside a number of headlight assemblies. So if you're looking for a low profile bulb to fit inside an assembly, you should consider getting this one. Next we have the adapter plate, which is retained on the bulb with these tabs on opposite sides. It can be removed by rotating until those tabs line up with these grooves, and then slid off of the bulb. This makes installation super easy. You simply take this adapter plate and put it into the housing like this and secure it in. Once that's secure, you can take your bulb, line it up with those grooves, press in and twist the bulb to secure it to the base plate. This also gives you the opportunity to rotate the bulb on that plate to ensure you get the best alignment in your housing. You ideally want the chips facing the 9 and 3 o'clock positions, with this shield at the 6 o'clock position. Now, why you'd want that shield at the 6 o'clock position, if you'll excuse me, let's get a crude drawing. Here you can see my very poor attempt at drawing a bulb in a housing. With the shield at the bottom of the bulb, this low beam chip here cannot shine light downward, can only shine light upward here. It then hits the inside of the reflector and gets cast downward. When you turn on your high beam circuit, this chip turns off and this chip turns on. That one can shine light in both directions, and because it's positioned further back, it focuses the beam so it comes out more parallel to aim further down the road. I hope that explanation made sense. Let's zoom back into the bulb. So we have our CSP chips here on these printed circuit boards. The circuit boards appear to be retained with Torx head screws, and the circuit boards themselves have a copper substrate. That helps transfer heat away from those chips down to this heat sink to extend the longevity of the bulb. We also have what appears to be a single piece of machined aluminum for the shaft here and structural support that has been plugged at the top with a rubber grommet. There you can see the copper substrate on those chips, or rather on the printed circuit boards. Let's hook up our power supply and see what this looks like. The power control module here is smart enough to discern which one of the terminals has been hooked up to power and which one has been hooked up to ground. So for our test, it doesn't matter which terminals we use. If we attach to this one, we get the high beam circuit, and this one we get the low beam. Both circuits are just 2 CSP chips on opposite sides of the bulb. Again, the low beam has the shroud to keep you from blinding oncoming traffic. And let's turn that off and see if I can set that back upright. There we go. While the high beam does not. It is bright in virtually every direction, minus the thickness of the shroud or the shaft itself. These are incredibly bright, and as you can hear from the fan, it is whizzing along quite nicely. It's fairly quiet as compared to some of the other bulbs we've seen on the channel, and would not go, it would go unnoticed rather inside your engine bay. Blocking the light, you can see that we are just shy of 2.3 amps, which puts each of these low beam and or high beam circuits at about 32 watts per circuit per bulb, which makes it a little over 60 watts for the set, which is above what the listings were on Amazon. Speaking of, these are available on Amazon, and I will put a link in the description below if you'd like to get them for yourselves. Why don't we do a real-world installation? I don't have the ability to test this in the light box because the shroud will prevent us from checking the overall brightness of the low beam circuit, but we can do a live install in a vehicle. So we'll cut to that next.
Hello, I'm Lucas the Science Guy. Today we are going to be changing the headlights on a 2011 Honda CR-V. We start out by taking this electrical connection out by wiggling it. Then we take this rubber this
dust cover?
Yeah, this rubber dust cover. And finally, we push this paper clip in and pull it up. Well, it's not actually a paper clip, but it's almost it looks sort of like a paper clip. And then we have the light. Then we've taken the light out. This light bulb is what we're going to be replacing the other light bulb with, but we have to start by twisting this and getting this piece off. Then we put this aside for now, and we put this in where this is facing that way towards the back. When we're putting it in, this part has to be at the bottom and this one has to be at the top. Then once it's in, we push this clip down, up, and into the piece that it goes in. So we put this rubber dust protector on, and then we push it down on all sides so that it looks good, like this.
Action.
This is the light bulb that we're going to put in the housing. Take note that this protector is in the same position as this wire. This will become important later. And the step is we put it in here and we find the right position and twist it so that it please take note that this wire is at the bottom. That also means that the protector in here is at the bottom, which allows us to have the best bean pattern possible. Then the last step is to attach these wires like this. This headlight is now done. If you do the same thing on the other side, it makes the headlights perfectly done, and then you are done with the headlights.
Back in the studio, I really enjoy these lights, and I think they're going to do a great job in that car. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down in the section below. I try and read through everything, and I love getting feedback from you guys. If you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, consider sharing it with your friends and family. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and if you really enjoy the channel, consider visiting our Patreon page and becoming a channel supporter. That is patreon.com/JamesTheLightGuy. Just throw $1 in the hat. It really helps the channel out and helps me buy more product to review for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I'm James the Light Guy.